Have you ever wondered what gives life its true meaning, even in the most difficult moments? In this inspiring sermon, Fulton Sheen tells the story of Jonah and connects it to the sacrifice and resurrection of Jesus, revealing profound lessons about love, sacrifice, and the transformation of the soul. This is not just a biblical story, it's our journey, facing challenges, embracing the cross, and finding joy in hope. Join us to discover how to live a life full of purpose and meaning, as though you have already risen.
Part 1. Exploring Eros, the power of human love. In the warm ambiance of a packed auditorium, the voice of Fulton Sheen resonates, carrying the weight of profound understanding and compassion. He begins the journey into Eros, not just as a form of love, but as a new horizon of emotion and connection between people, between humans and beauty, and between individuals and the surrounding world. Eros, according to Sheen, is the strongest force in the universe of love. It is not merely a fleeting desire or lust, but a profound attraction where our souls are satisfied by beauty, harmony, and elevation in interactions with others. He illustrates this by suggesting that when we encounter a magnificent work of art or a piece of music that stirs the soul, that is Eros manifesting its power. It is when our spirits are not only aware but deeply moved and vivified by every note and every stroke. Sheen continues by sharing a humorous story about accidentally overhearing a conversation on a plane, where a woman admires the diamond on her companion's hand. This material allure, however beautiful, is also a part of Eros, but it's just the surface. He emphasizes that the real challenge is to understand and direct Eros, not just to stop at superficial attraction, but to lead us into deeper relationships where true love can flourish. However, he also warns of the danger when Eros is reduced to mere physical cravings, neglecting the soul and spirit, a common phenomenon in modern society. He suggests that for Eros to serve as a foundation for truly developing love, we must recognize its value and space in shaping meaningful, long-term relationships. Through Sheen's vivid and sincere narration, Eros is portrayed not only as the beginning of loving relationships, but also as a solid step towards philia and agape, higher forms of love that we will explore in later parts. He concludes this section by inviting everyone to reflect on the power of Eros, not just as a source of inspiration, but also as a challenge for us to understand and love more completely. Let us continue this journey in the next part, where we will explore philia, the love of friends, a love no less complex and inspiring, building genuine and lasting bonds between people. Part 2. Delving into philia, the bonds of friendship and human love. As we journey deeper into the realm of love, we come to understand philia, the love that transcends the individual and embraces humanity at large. Philia, as Fulton Sheen eloquently described, is not just about personal affection. It's about a universal brotherhood, a love that extends beyond familial ties to encompass all of mankind. This type of love recognizes the inherent worth of every individual, celebrating our collective humanity without prejudice or discrimination. Philia is the Greek term that encapsulates love between friends and for one's community or society. It's a form of love that demands more than mere affection. It requires a commitment to the well-being of others, a dedication to altruism that uplifts and supports. Sheen uses the story of the Good Samaritan as a perfect illustration of philia. Here, a man, unrelated and unconnected by blood or creed, stops to help a stranger. This act of kindness and care, free from any personal gain, is philia in its purest form. In the modern context, philia can be seen in acts of charity, in movements for social justice, and in community service. It is the love that volunteers exhibit when they work in shelters, the passion of activists fighting for equality, and the commitment of educators striving to provide the best for their students. Philia involves recognizing the interconnectedness of our lives and acting upon the impulse to make life better for everyone. Sheen delves into the philosophical underpinnings of philia, citing Aristotle, who regarded it as one of the highest forms of love because it includes not just the affection seen in friendships, but also the virtue and goodness that arise from mutual respect and admiration. This is a love that is cultivated through shared experiences, common values, and a joint commitment to contribute positively to the world. The beauty of philia is in its reciprocity. It's not a love that is confined to the giver. Rather, It is amplified and reflected back by the receiver. Philia creates a cycle of love and respect that strengthens the bonds between individuals. It fosters a community spirit that can transcend societal boundaries, leading to a more cohesive and compassionate society. Sheen also emphasizes the transformative power of philia. It has the ability to change hearts and minds, to bridge gaps that seem insurmountable. Through philia, enemies can become friends, and strangers can become allies. It teaches us the importance of empathy, urging us to put ourselves in the shoes of others and feel their joys and sorrows as if they were our own. Furthermore, Sheen explores the challenges and complexities of philia in a world where individualism often prevails over collectivism. He discusses how modern life can sometimes lead to isolation and loneliness, with technology and busy schedules creating barriers to true interpersonal connections. In this context, philia becomes even more crucial. It acts as a reminder of the importance of community and the intrinsic value of every human connection. The discussion on philia is not just theoretical, it is deeply practical. Sheen provides concrete examples of how to cultivate philia in everyday life. He suggests starting with small acts of kindness, like reaching out to a neighbor in need, volunteering at local charities, or simply offering a listening ear to a friend. He stresses that these actions, while seemingly minor, can have a profound impact on the fabric of society. As we continue our exploration of love, it becomes clear that philia is not merely an abstract concept, but a vital force for good in the world. It challenges us to look beyond our own needs and desires and to consider the welfare of others. It calls upon us to build bridges, to heal divisions, and to create a world where love and compassion prevail over hatred and indifference. In the next part of our journey, we will explore agape, the highest form of love, one that embodies selflessness and sacrifice. Agape is the love that seeks nothing in return, a love that is given freely and abundantly to all, regardless of reciprocity. It is in this exploration that we will uncover the full depth of the power of love as envisioned by Fulton Sheen and how it can truly transform the world. This deep dive into philia sets the stage for understanding agape, as each type of love builds upon the previous, creating a comprehensive tapestry of human emotion and moral responsibility that stretches far beyond simple feelings of affection. As we prepare to delve into the mysteries of agape, we carry forward the lessons of eros and philia, enriched and ready to embrace the boundless possibilities of true, unconditional love. Part 3. Embracing agape, the essence of selfless love. Having traversed the realms of eros and philia, we now approach the pinnacle of love's hierarchy as defined by Fulton Sheen. Agape. This form of love is perhaps the most profound and transformative, encapsulating the essence of unconditional, selfless love that seeks nothing in return. It is the kind of love that has the power to change the world, one act at a time. Agape is the love that is freely given, not earned or bargained for. It transcends the ordinary expectations of reciprocity that govern most human interactions. In the Christian tradition, agape is seen as the purest form of love, akin to the love that God has for humanity, which Sheen eloquently discusses. It is a love that is all-encompassing and boundless, not limited by the flaws or virtues of its recipients. Sheen articulates that agape is not merely an abstract ideal, but a concrete reality that can be lived out through everyday actions. It manifests in the acts of charity, in the forgiveness of wrongs, and in the caring for those who cannot care for themselves. Agape is found in the tireless efforts of those who work to better the lives of others without any expectation of acknowledgement or reward. This is the love that motivates a person to donate anonymously, to help a stranger in distress, or to devote their life to a cause that benefits the less fortunate. The transformative power of agape is immense. Sheen describes it as the force that can bridge the gap between the divine and the human, enabling individuals to act beyond their natural capacities. Through agape, people are inspired to perform acts of great sacrifice, sometimes even to the point of giving up their lives for others. This was vividly illustrated in the story of the early Christian martyrs, who, motivated by agape, faced persecution and death while forgiving their persecutors. In exploring agape, Sheen also discusses the challenges of practicing such a high form of love. It requires a radical openness of heart, a willingness to be vulnerable, and a profound sense of empathy. Agape asks more of us than any other love. It demands that we look beyond our personal needs and desires and connect with others in a deeply meaningful way. It calls for a kind of moral courage that is rare and exceedingly precious. Sheen delves deeper into the psychology of agape, explaining that it is not an instinct, but a choice. It is a decision to love without conditions, without looking for something in return. This makes agape the most challenging and yet the most rewarding form of love. It is challenging because it goes against our natural inclinations towards self-preservation and self-interest. It is rewarding because it elevates our spirits and brings us closer to the divine. Throughout his discourse, Sheen uses examples from history, literature, and his personal experiences to illustrate the power of agape. He recounts tales of unsung heroes and recognized saints whose lives were epitomes of agape. These stories serve not only to inspire but also to instruct, providing a blueprint for integrating agape into our own lives. As we reflect on agape, we see it not as an unreachable ideal, but as a practical guide for living. It is about making love actionable, about making it the driving force behind our interactions with the world. Agape encourages us to be better, to do more, and to love more deeply. In conclusion, Sheen calls upon each of us to consider how we might live out agape in our own lives. Whether through small acts of kindness, grand gestures of charity, or consistent patterns of behavior that prioritize the welfare of others over our own, agape is accessible to everyone. It is a universal invitation to elevate our human experience to something divine, to transform our world one act of selfless love at a time. Through this exploration of agape, we not only conclude our journey through the types of love, but also begin a new chapter in our understanding of what it means to truly love. Agape, with its call to selflessness and sacrifice, serves as the ultimate challenge and the ultimate reward, offering a path towards genuine fulfillment and the betterment of the world around us. Part 4. Agape in Action. Implementing Divine Love in Daily Life. In the previous discussions, we explored the theoretical underpinnings and spiritual dimensions of agape, the highest form of love. Now, we turn our attention to practical applications, focusing on how we can embody this divine love in our daily interactions and decisions. Fulton Sheen emphasized that agape isn't just a lofty ideal, but a tangible practice that can profoundly influence both individual lives and the broader community. Living agape through compassionate action. Agape challenges us to go beyond mere feelings and to act intentionally in ways that manifest love and kindness to all. This could mean offering support to those in need without expectation of thanks or recognition. It could involve contributing to the community in ways that promote collective well-being, such as volunteering at local shelters, donating to food banks, or simply engaging in acts of kindness that improve the lives of those around us. Sheen points out that these acts of love are not grand gestures performed occasionally, but should be consistent behaviors that define the fabric of our daily lives. It's about making love a habit, where the choice to help, to give, and to forgive becomes almost second nature. Forgiveness as a manifestation of agape. One of the most challenging aspects of agape is forgiveness. Sheen describes forgiveness not just as an emotional release, but as a deliberate decision to absolve those who have wronged us, regardless of the severity of their offenses. This doesn't mean forgetting the wrong or denying the pain it caused, but choosing to release the bitterness and anger that bind us to the past. Implementing agape through forgiveness can have transformative effects on personal relationships, fostering reconciliation and healing where there was once estrangement and hurt. It also impacts the broader community by promoting a culture of peace and understanding over retaliation and conflict. Selflessness in everyday decisions. Agape also calls for a paradigm shift in how we make everyday decisions. It challenges the prevailing societal focus on self-interest and personal gain, urging us to consider the impact of our actions on others. This might mean choosing products that are ethically sourced, engaging in fair business practices, or simply being mindful of our environmental footprint. Sheen emphasizes that these choices, while seemingly minor, can collectively lead to significant changes in society. By prioritizing the good of others in our daily decisions, we not only live out the principles of agape, but also contribute to a more just and compassionate world. Educating others on agape. Part of living agape is spreading its message. Sheen advocates for the education of others about the importance of selfless love, not through preaching but through the example of our actions. By embodying agape, we inspire others to embark on their own journeys of selfless love. This can be particularly impactful in settings like schools, workplaces, and religious communities, where the principles of agape can foster environments of mutual respect and care. Sustaining agape in challenging times. Maintaining a commitment to agape can be challenging, especially in times of personal or societal turmoil. Sheen discusses the importance of spiritual and communal support in sustaining this love. Engaging in regular reflection, prayer, or meditation can help renew one's strength and commitment to living out agape. Furthermore, community support groups or gatherings can provide the encouragement and inspiration needed to continue practicing agape even when it seems most difficult. Sharing experiences and struggles with others who are committed to the same principles can provide both solace and motivation. Conclusion: a call to action. In conclusion, Fulton Sheen's exploration of agape culminates in a powerful call to action, to integrate this divine love into every aspect of our lives. He challenges us to not only understand agape intellectually, but to embrace it as a daily practice that defines who we are and how we interact with the world. Agape is not easy. It requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to put the needs of others before our own. Yet, the rewards are immeasurable, not only in the peace and fulfillment it brings to our own lives, but in the positive change it can effect in the world. As we continue to live out agape, we slowly transform our surroundings, building a legacy of love that can endure beyond our lifetimes. Through this detailed exploration, Sheen provides not only the blueprint for living a life of agape, but also the inspiration to start making those changes today, ensuring that each step we take is a step towards a more loving, just, and compassionate world. Part 5. The Ripple Effects of Agape. Building a Community of Love. In our exploration of agape as a transformative force, it's important to delve into how this profound love can influence communities and create a widespread impact. Fulton Sheen highlighted that agape, when practiced collectively, has the potential to not only reshape individual lives but also to reform societies, mend broken relationships, and heal wounded communities. This section focuses on how agape can be cultivated within communities and its far-reaching effects. Cultivating agape in communities. Agape begins with individual acts of love and sacrifice, but it flourishes when it becomes a communal practice. Sheen discusses strategies for fostering an environment where agape can thrive. Community initiatives. Encouraging community-wide programs that focus on selfless service and outreach can help institutionalize agape. This could be in the form of regular community service days, support groups for the needy, or educational programs aimed at promoting values of selflessness and service. Leadership by example. Community leaders, whether in political, religious, or social spheres, play a critical role in modeling agape. When leaders act out of selfless love, they set a powerful example for others to follow. Inclusive activities. Organizing events that bring diverse groups together can help break down barriers and foster a spirit of unity and mutual respect. These activities should be designed to include all members of the community, regardless of their background or status. The role of education in spreading agape education is a vital tool in spreading the message of agape. Sheen stresses the importance of incorporating lessons on selfless love into educational curricula. From elementary schools to universities, educating young minds about the importance of empathy, compassion, and selfless action can prepare future generations to lead lives guided by agape. Curriculum integration. Schools can integrate lessons on agape into subjects such as social studies, literature, and religious education, providing students with practical examples of how agape has been applied throughout history. Service learning. Implementing service learning projects as part of the educational experience can help students understand the impact of agape in real-world settings, encouraging them to apply these principles in their own lives. Challenges and solutions in practicing agape. While the concept of agape is inspiring, its practice comes with challenges. particularly in a world often driven by individualism and competition. Sheen identifies these challenges and offers solutions. Overcoming materialism. In a material-driven society, shifting focus from personal gain to communal well-being can be difficult. Sheen suggests regular community discussions and workshops to realign values and priorities towards more spiritually fulfilling goals. Dealing with conflict. Agape does not ignore conflict, but addresses it with reconciliation and forgiveness. Training community mediators and conflict resolution experts to handle disputes with an agape-based approach can help maintain peace and unity. Sustaining long-term commitment to agape. Maintaining a long-term commitment to practicing agape requires continuous effort and renewal. Regular reflection and renewal sessions. Community gatherings focused on sharing experiences and renewing commitment to agape can help sustain motivation and resolve. Support networks. Establishing support networks to help individuals and groups facing challenges in practicing agape ensures that no one has to carry the burden alone. Conclusion. A vision for a transformed society. In closing, Sheen casts a vision of a society transformed by agape. In this society, relationships are governed by selflessness, communities are bound by genuine care, and social structures are designed to support the well-being of all its members. He calls upon each individual to contribute to this vision, not only in grand gestures, but in everyday actions. By embracing agape in personal, familial, and community life, we contribute to a ripple effect that can ultimately transform entire societies. Sheen's message is clear. Agape is not just a personal ethic, but a global imperative that has the power to heal, to unify, and to uplift humanity. Through these insights, Sheen provides a comprehensive roadmap for those seeking to live out agape in every facet of life, highlighting the profound impact that love, practiced selflessly, can have on the world. As we continue to foster this divine love within ourselves and our communities, we step closer to realizing a world where agape defines the essence of all relationships and interactions.